Alrighty, hello everyone and welcome to round 8 of the NEF1 Season 11 Championship for the second sprint race of the season. Following its success in Vegas when we trialed this format for the first time, we will be doing another round, and it is Singapore, a reverse championship order sprint. But only the top 10 gets flipped. It's a predicted race with rain at the end of it, at least the sprint race. As for the Grand Prix that is to come afterwards, we do not yet know, but we'll wait and see what the forecast will be like. So let me explain to you really quickly how this system works. We have taken the top 10 in the championship and flipped them. The driver currently P10 in this championship is Marcus, and he will be starting on pole position. P2 is Iwatts, P9 is Iwatts, he will be starting in P2 and so on. If you're P11th, which unfortunately is the situation Wilt goes in, he starts P11th, and from P11th downwards, it is as you are. That is the format that is applied at this sprint. The finishing result of the sprint race will set the grid order for the main race that is come. In total, 41 laps of driving, 43 if you include formation laps around this Marina Bay circuit, which is going to be very, very interesting indeed. So then we're just waiting for a couple of more minutes for all the drivers to get their setups and tires in order. Potential rain at the end of this race. Hopefully that's going to come quite quickly and it might shake things up. We're going to look at the grid order in just a little bit. As there we go then, the ready up has been given and we shall see what ensues. No qualifying then, only a formation lap and straight into the first 10 lap race. No qualifying, but also no tire rule, no mandatory pit stops for this race. You go to the flag if potential therefore is. As we have a new driver in this league as well, we'll let you know as soon as we get into this race. We should be hearing those timers start ticking down very, very soon. As I'm hardly getting any game audio for whatever reason. There we go, that's the audio mixing, and as we can see, the starting grid is as follows. Marcus is starting on pole position for the first time in his NEF1 tenures. Iwatts alongside him on the front row. This is where experience in lies, because Iwatts is not unused, not unfamiliar with being at the sharp end of the grid. Luna starting P3, she is a master in wet conditions. What can she do when that rain starts falling? Noah chasing his first NEF1 victory. Could it come today in the sprint, and could there be a double victory potentially with the Grand Prix in a different format? Djokovic chasing his first win in many, many seasons. He's been excellent in sprints over the cusp of NEF1 history. Can he do it here tonight? Pullman starting P6. Ray P7. He is on a brilliant streak of races. Squidge, Matty and Tess, that are the championship protagonists, especially Tess and Matty over these last couple of weeks. Squidge needs to rebound strong here. Looking down from there, we have Mr. Wilco, Octave, ABT, Wigan and Recon, Marina P16, followed by Darren, Wildcat Kit, and Lucas Hull is our debutant driver for Racing Bulls, the Racing Bulls that has diverted back to the white Red Bull livery for the remainder of the season. We'll keep an eye on him as to what he can do, and if that's an indicator of things to come, it's going to be a tricky week for the debutant. We'll wait and see. 10 laps of racing action to complete here then, as we're nearing the end of the formation lap. Race start under pressure for the first time for Marcus in this type of a situation. We'll get the position change up. Crucial for Squidge, Matty and Tess now to keep it calm on the start gaining a couple of positions. They are battling each other in the championship, no one else. They don't have to win this, they have to outscore each other. This will be a very interesting race to see how it progresses. Luna definitely one of the favourites. If she can keep it clean until the rain comes, she is in with a brilliant shout of taking home her first victory in New Era. Here we go, and it's an aggressive pointing iWatts to the outside of the circuit for the first corner. We shall wait and see. We have 4, 5 red lights. Who will respond quickest? Lights on, away we go. Makis gets away well. iWatts a bit slow off the line. Can he do something into turn 1? He's going to nib an inside potentially, but no. Makis is just clear as Noah tries to battle past Luna, who shoves him a little bit wide on the start there in order to maintain that P3. Djokovic is past Noah up in P4. Squidge up 2 places. Tess up 2 places. Matty down 1 place on his teammate Ray. Tiger Octaf up a couple of places. And Lucas Hull up at P18. Wildcat losing out early on the start. Mackers gets a clean getaway. Squidge up at P6 on the start. And with that start, he is in with a chance of a victory here. But overtaking around this circuit is going to be difficult. Crucial for Luna now to be able to keep pace with iWatts and Mackers. However, that gap already alarmingly up to 1 second. When the DRS will be enabled next time, Luna will be left stranded at the mercy of Djokovic and Noah. Then Squidge coming up behind is not going to be kind either. Here we go then, it is iWatts and Mackers for P1 at the beginning of this sprint race. Matty at the moment P9, Tess has recovered to 8th. Oh sorry, recovered to 8th, gotten up into 8th. Matty's recovered up to 9th place past his teammate again, as I'm getting a little bit confused by this format, seeing these kinds of drivers down in P9, P8 and P6. They usually occupy the top 3. Makis, brilliant opening lap then, 9/10 of a second clear. iWatts dropping back a little bit, and that might have been a little bit of a saving grace for Luna as we enter the first lap with DRS enabled. Last time we were racing around Singapore with DRS as well in NEF1. Bit nostalgic every single race now, because new gens of cars are dropping relatively soon, hopefully, on this game. Here we go then, DRS open for Luna, and that was a saving grace for the Alpine drivers. Djokovic's coming up on the scene. As for Squidge, is he able to make any inroads on Noah? No, he is not. Overtaking is going to be very, very difficult here. One position that I think iWatts could be quite content is running P2 for quite a significant amount of time, shielding himself from attack from Luna, but also staying within range of Mackers, making it harder for faster guys like Djokovic, Noah and Squidge potentially to start coming up alongside. A Squidge very close to the back of Noah now. Might Squidge just try something down inside into the hairpin? No, has to think better of it. It'd be a bit too optimistic. Matty has gotten past the current championship leader. He is up into 8th place, as iWatts now has dropped back 1.3 seconds from Mackers, who right now is leading this race convincingly. As here we go then, Makis, fastest lap of the race so far. iWatts 1.6 behind, left at the mercy of Luna. We're waiting and expecting that rain. Worth mentioning, Luna with that little bit of a slow start could be down to the fact that she has started on the hard tires. I don't really understand why, but they'll come into effect at the end of the race, I'm sure. But right now, that is costing her lap time. However, this is gaining her time. Very, very close to the back of iWatts at the braking zone. There flatlines it over the curb and now goes aggressive to defend from Djokovic after that little bit of mistake. And Luna got to just play it a bit calmer there as to not get stuck on those curbs. Got to commit a bit earlier if you want to go for the overtake. It's circuit this which doesn't promote any types of lunges or late moves. You've got to be very well positioned in order to make an overtake. Something I'm sure the Squidge right now is ruining. Is he going to send one down the inside? No. Crucial for Luna now, keep it steady behind iWatts. Mac is running away with this now, 2.2 seconds. Starting to feel relatively comfortable out front, you reckon. Lucas Hull is in P16 at the moment, just monitoring his progress, up 4 positions. Now behind the leader's teammate Marina, but 1.4 seconds down. So here we go then, next attempt for Djokovic on Luna then is down the DRS straight, down the opening straight on lap 4 out of 10. We're already approaching half race distance. Yellow flags is a beat, you know, we're going to have a safety car as a result of that. That is after the first corner. And I think he's Lance strolled it around there, unfortunately. That means that a beat will start at the back of the grid for the Grand Prix that will follow, but thankfully no safety car or virtual safety car to follow. Luna right now steady on in P3, no drama. However, there is drama at the back because Matty Adam has had a problem in the braking zone and he is without a front wing, and that could be a challenge for his championship hopes. Squidge has been able to get past Noah just because we missed it. That's a bit of an if, but he's now 1.8 seconds behind Djokovic. That's unfortunate. We missed maybe the only overtake we'll have in this race. We'll wait and see. As Holman now moving backwards a position or two. Matty Van without a front wing. He will most likely then be starting right from the back of the field as well. Massive problems then for Matty here in the sprint race. Tess and Squidge will be rejoicing at that fact. Right now, Max is rejoicing. He is 3 seconds out in front and very unchallenged with about 6 laps remaining. So, problems for the admin team here inside the Singapore Grand Prix. Only Squidge having a good race so far. He's up a couple of positions and now he's going to try to get by Djokovic P4. However, the further up he gets, the harder it is going to get. Darren Stahl, 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. That could send him down a couple of places for the start of the race. As for Marcus, he's holding a stable 2.9 seconds at the moment. Iwatts can't really do anything to keep up, but Luna cannot get by that Red Bull. If rain starts to fall, it's got to start falling quite soon in order for it to have an effect on this race. Especially in order to make people come in and box. As Djokovic now then very much under pressure at the back of Squidge 2017. Can Squidge try something into the braking zone? Within this type of DRS train, progress is impossible. Have to deploy heavily. Djokovic going defensive, parking it in the middle of the circuit. Here goes Squidge down the inside of the three-time champion versus the reigning champion. The inside line works. Djokovic just has that place. Squidge alongside, side by side into the final corner. Got to play this very carefully. Squidge just makes it round, but it is costing him time even still. We're on lap 6 out of 10, everyone, and the win is slipping out of Squidge's hands. He is making good progress. Luna is next in line, and ahead of him is the teammate of the championship leader, who I'm sure is very, very content with Squidge staying back in 4th place. This is also a race for the Constructors' Championship, which we will look at after this race. Obviously then with updated standings we won't be able to get you those live standings quite then, because points are available. 10 points for P1. As Mr. Wilco makes it past Tiger Octave, then Matty Adam currently down in P18 and third 2 laps for the Grand Prix, with a mountain to climb in order to make anything else of this race. Makis is 4 seconds out front, and it's looking like this could be a landslide victory for the Mercedes driver. Recently claimed his first podium in NEF1, now on his way to a first victory of a format in NEF1. It's not a full Grand Prix victory, but a sprint victory nevertheless. As here then, Squidge is pushing Luna around the circuit at the moment, trying to get ahead, trying to get an opportunity at Iwatts, but it's just not doing at the moment. Luna Not going defensive into turn 1, doesn't need to. Squidge is too far back. Djokovic and Noah have switched positions as well. They're P5 and P6 at the moment, both running inside the points. Tess can't find a way through either. As for Matty, he's closing in on Recon, but not at a sufficient rate potentially in order to make anything of this. He will be in recovery mode for the Grand Prix, but this could ruin a massive championship challenge. Squidge moving about a bit in the braking zone in order to make something work. Luna is calm and collected. Fastest lap for Matty. Unfortunately won't count for anything though. Might we have a sprinkle of rain to spice things up? I really do hope so, but that is uncertain. Recon has had a problem in the first sector, and that will allow Matty to move up a place, you would imagine. Very, very close. I think they touched there briefly, the Ferrari and the Alpine. Here goes Squidge then. Is he going to be able to line up a move on the Alpine? No. DRS zone is coming up though. Best overtaking spot on the circuit is in Sector 3. Luna, however, deploying quite heavily, getting a much better exit than Squidge. Maybe I thought Luna was going to have a little go at iWatts there, but not to be done so far. iWatts calm and collected, P2, and hasn't made a single mistake all race long. Luna P3 under heavy pressure all race long, but now from Squidge with his mediums, are they now in a zone where those hard tires of Luna are going to start working a little bit better than the mediums of Squidge and iWatts? That could very well be so. Heavy deg circuit this. We have Luna again with a little mistake on the turn-in, just getting caught on that curb, and that is costful. Marcus 5 seconds out clear, and I think this is turning into a defining moment of his NEF1 tenure so far. iWatts on for another P2 potentially here. Squidge doing everything he can now to get by the Alpine, because he's running out of laps, if nothing else, to get by the Red Bull for the Constructors' Championship. Yellow flag in Sector 2. I believe that might have been Wildcat with an issue. Yes, it was. As here we go, Squidge alarmingly aggressive right now. That could open up the door for Noah to maybe try something on these last couple of laps as well. 2 laps to go here. Luna, is she gonna send it down the inside of iWatts? Yes, she is. Gets it down now, breaks herself though. That might have just been on the cusp of track limits. Let's iWatts go, and gonna have another go at this overtake. Probably the wisest thing to do in hindsight, but I was aggressive, maybe a little bit too aggressive, because here comes Squidge, maybe down the inside of the Alpine. No! The Alpine of Luna looking towards the inside of iWatts as well, has to duck out of it at the last moment. Now we have 2 laps remaining, 7 seconds up to the lead of this Grand Prix, and Marcus, if he keeps it clean now, will calm and collectedly drive home to secure a maiden sprint victory. Here goes Luna around the outside of the Red Bull into the first DRS braking zone, just on the limit. Luna forces her way by the Red Bull and secures P2. The Red Bull comes back though. iWatts round the outside on a switchback move is able to take that right back from Luna. That is brilliant defensive driving from iWatts, just leaving enough and slamming the door shut afterwards. iWatts desperately wants this P2. Luna has 1 more lap to make something work here. Squidge as well needs to get a move on, but overtaking very, very difficult. Tess still remaining in P7, can't get past either of the Aston Martins. So here we go then, with DRS and battery once again. Luna on iWatts, Squidge on them both. They've got to play careful here as well to not open the door for the Ferrari behind. Not massive points differences on the line, but points nevertheless that these midfield drivers are going to be dying to score. And this is a huge result for Marcus in the championship if he can bring it home. 8 seconds out front though. You reckon he will? We aren't going to have any rain at the end of this race, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, I was hoping for that to spice things up, but it's been a really interesting race, nevertheless. But we've been focusing on this battle and this battle only. But such is the nature of a race like this. Luna is going to have 2 more goes at Iwatts. The first one is going to be into the next braking zone. Not close enough, surely, unless the closing speed is massive. It is not. Luna trying something around the outside. That is not going to work. Got to be careful on the track limit warnings as well. And got to be careful as to not impede Iwatts in any way once she makes her move. That might prove costly because here comes Squidge almost alongside, but not quite. Couple of corners left to go as Macus is entering what now is the last sector of this race before he can crown himself a winner of an NEF1 sprint this season. Luna too far back now probably on Iwatts to think about it. That little contact with Squidge though might not be or that little contact between Squidge and Luna and the last corner though might not be beneficial to Squidge's cause, because it has just allowed Luna to get away somewhat, who's made an error, an unforced error on turning in the last lap, and that is going to send Luna piling down. Macus wins his first NEF1 event. Started P1, finished P1. Iwatts controls this race beautifully and finishes P2. Squidge with a brilliant recovery finishes in 3rd. Noah finishes 4th with Djokovic in 5th. They don't move about too much. Tess does everything he can. It is good enough for P6 on the grid. Luna with a wholly unforced error finds herself in P7 instead of P3. She'll be devastated with that result. Mr. Wilco in 8th, followed by Ray in 9th. Octave will come home in P10 with Marina 11th, Wigan in 12th. Lucas Hull finishes in 13th on debut. Good recovery, up 7 places. Then we have Darren, Matty Adam, 1980s Wildcat, Recon Hullman and Kit at the end, making up the rest of the field. ABT, the only retiree from this race. And what a race it ended up being. Late drama. What problems will Matty have for the Grand Prix, I'm thinking? What problems could prove? We shall wait and see. Alright then everyone, there is the finishing order. Points for the top 10, not following the points graph that you see on screen. We are going to be going to a little bit of a break. Everyone, we are doing a lobby restart for the next Grand Prix. We are going to a bit of a break before we can get this next race started. So everyone leave this session. We'll announce in the Discord when we have a new session open for you. I'll be back within about 5 or 10 minutes time. So just go for a drink, pop a smoke, whatever works for you. We'll be back very, very shortly for the continuation of the Singapore Grand Prix. All right, everyone, a little bit of a turn. Yeah, mic is on. Mic should be on. Okay, hopefully I can be heard. A little bit of a turnaround time, but we are ready to get going once more. The grid order has been established. So, if I can get an audio check as well, that'd be absolutely beautiful. We'll be waiting for a couple of more minutes until we get running and going again. But if I could get that audio check, it would be absolutely beautiful. Matty Adams saying everything is good. Perfect. Alright then, so just waiting. Hopefully we should be getting some interesting strategies now as well. 31 racing laps this time out, not just the 11 that we just bore witness to. 10 laps, if I'm not mistaken, sorry. So Macus claim the very well deserved massive points haul for his championship campaign. That could launch him up quite a couple of positions, up to 39 points now. The same of which Luna and Noah were on before this race started. Very close to Djokovic and Holman. So we're going to see some movement in the championship standings once this race has been completed. I'm just going to go over the points, the point system for the sprint races, so you know what it is. It is 10 points for the win, 8 points for second. But hold on, this is not the correct point system that I'm looking at. I will go over it with you a bit later. As I'm just dealing with a couple of other things currently at the moment as well. So there we go, hopefully everything should be sorted. We're just going to give them a minute or two to get their setups on, get the strategies in order, and then we're going to start this race. I'm going into the race director, and a lot of people on medium tires. iWatt's doing something different on those hards, could suffer at the start of the Grand Prix. I have a couple of others starting on hards, mainly towards the back of the field as well. Alright then, in my opinion, everything should be set to go, I'm hoping. I don't think anyone has to deal with any more things. So I am going to trigger the ready up just now when we'll be going in 30 seconds. So then, 31 laps around this Marina Bay circuit, which is, yeah, hard to overtake, as we saw. If you end up in a DRS train, you can absolutely get stuck within it. So that'll be something to watch out for this race and what is to come. Overtaking difficult, however. Squidge, who hasn't won a race in the last 6 weeks now, in prime position to do so. He got up to P3 well ahead of his championship rivals, and now 2 cars ahead of him for that prestigious Grand Prix victory. Is my commentary not really on point tonight? We'll see what we can make of it. Macus then, once again in P1. Alongside him is iWatt, who did revert back to the mediums, as we can see. As we're just going to enable a couple of things so we can see what's going on. Squidge starting in P3, good recovery from him in the sprint race, followed by Noah and Djokovic P4 and P5. Don't think they moved at all for the sprint. Tess recovers up to P6. Luna drops it in the final couple of meters and finishes P7. Starts P7 as well. Mr. Wilco in 8th, followed by Ray in 9th, Tiger Octave in 10th place, followed by Marina, Wigan in P12, the debutant Lucas Hall in 13th place in the Racing Bulls, followed by Darren Style, Matty Adam, 1980s Wildcat, Holman, Recon, Kit, and a BT retired early. That could be a big problem for what is to come. Obviously, the one thing we are looking quite heavily at is Matty Adam 98 having a problem early on in the sprint race. He is starting P15 and now it is damage limitation and nothing else. He is very much involved in this championship battle, but this could grind that to a halt if he's not able to recover well. Darren going for a little bit of a skate by the look of things on the exit of the hairpin, and that'll get his tyres nice and cooked. As we're on board with Lucas Hall then for the final couple of meters on the formation lap. Mack has kept it very, very nice and composed for the Grand Prix start this time. However, this time Squidge is going to be right on him at the beginning of the race. If Iwatts isn't able to follow through, Iwatts with front wing damage, mind you, apparently, for the sprint race. Squidge is going to be there for the entirety of this race. There's going to be no gap, I can promise you that. Mack is just going to have to work ever so much harder for this one. But he'll have a psychological advantage versus Iwatts on this start, and that could be crucial as to finishing with a good points haul in the Grand Prix as well. ABT starting P20th and last. What can he do from the back row of the grid? It's a full lineup here tonight. It's a full lineup, full time as well now in NEF1 with Lucas Hall emerging in that Racing Bull. Here we go. Mercedes versus Red Bull on the front row of Singapore. Usually goes very, very well. Here we go. It's 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. Lucas Hall drive-through penalty for a jump start. Not ideal way to start his NEF1 tenure. Iwatts jumps. Mack is on the start as well, and did Iwatts maybe get a drive-through penalty on the start there? Yes, he did. For jumping the start, Iwatts is given a drive-through penalty. Here we go then. Macus, Squidge, Noah, all waiting to claim that P1 spot off Iwatts in a couple of laps. This is absolutely perfect for Squidge, who is going to send it down the inside of Macus into the 4th turn of this circuit, I believe, maybe the 5th, and claim what is now provisionally P1, whilst Tess now had better get a move on past Noah, past Macus, because the race win is going to be slipping out of his fingers very, very fast. Tess versus Squidge then once again, but with Noah and Macus in that sandwich. Tiger Octave has had a brilliant start, I want to point out, up 3 places. Matty up 4 places. Djokovic down 7, has had a horrid time. So then, Tiger Octave challenging his teammate. It was brilliant last time out in Australia. It's a very, very good start here once again. A couple of weeks earlier he joined this league. Might have been involved in this scrap for the victory in the sprint race, but due to circumstances started the sprint in P12. Only 1 points finish on the board, only 1 race on the board as well. But then Tiger Octave could be one to watch in the next couple of races for sure. He's absolutely impressing right now. Iwatts, however, that drive-through penalty is not going to be aiding proceedings. However, he's going to be backing up Squidge as much as he possibly can for these next couple of laps, that allow Tess to maybe just have a little cheeky dive down the inside of Noah and Macus. Try to get himself very much within this race. Squidge will want to get past that Red Bull as soon as he can. Here we go then, DRS for the first time, and is he going to push to get by the Red Bull? Goes ultra defensive in the braking zone. No, Squidge having to stay by for another couple of sectors. Raven, lead McLaren driver so far, and has been brilliant these last couple of weeks. 3 podiums in the last 4 Grand Prix is his resume at the moment. Right now, though, P9 is all he was able to muster for the sprint race. Matty Adam is doing a good recovery job so far, and he is on the fringes of the points behind Marina, who's currently sitting in 10th place, looking at a potential move on Ray. And we have Djokovic out of the session, or I don't know what has happened to Djokovic there, you know. You would imagine it's an error under braking that might have seen a wheel off. Lucas Hall has served that penalty, by the way. That is why he's so far down, as we are under double waved yellow's virtual safety car. Djokovic is out of this race early on lap 2 out of 31, and it is a tough weekend for him. Brilliant last time out, struggling here tonight. Oh, sorry, brilliant over the last couple of weeks, struggling here tonight. I believe it was a DNF last time out as well in Australia, wasn't it? Sun and up and down form at the moment this season is Djokovic, but I'm very curious to see what happened with that incident. As to who he was battling, I don't quite know. So then, double waved yellows. It's not ideal at all for Iwat, so I assume would like to be able to get going. However, this means Squidge is going to have to stay behind for just a little bit longer. And he misses out on a potential overtaking zone. He misses out on 2, actually. And I'm sure Iwat won't mind that too much. He'll have to come in to serve that drive through this lap, and that'll see him at the very rear of the field. As for Lucas Hull, he is in the pit lane now, having served the drive-through penalty. You would imagine then front wing damage would be involved. And surely you're not just switching tyres. Yes, he is actually. Just a change of tyres onto another set of mediums for Lucas. So that's a very, very weird strategy call. As for Tess, then now backed up a little bit by Noah. Didn't have the best of restarts. 1.5 seconds behind Mackers, who's involved in this battle with Squidge and Iwatts at the moment. And Tess has got to get a move on here. Iwatts might have to back these guys up even further into the next braking zone, but he can't, because down the inside goes Squidge, and there's not too much Iwatts can do to really defend that one, which means he's going to be diving in to the pit lane at the end of this lap to serve a drive-through penalty. It's not often we see those in NEF1, but Iwatts, I believe, has gotten a few in the past, but it's been a very, very long time. So then, now we have an established order for this Grand Prix. We have Squidge, Mackes and Noah, with Tess running along in P4, Luna in 5th and Octaf in 6th. Bloody hell, these Alpines are scoring solid points right now. As here we go, Noah and Tess do battle. Meanwhile, Luna might sneak up on Tess here. Tries to run the outside. That was never realistically going to work. But Tess doing everything he can to get by that Aston Martin now, who really is ruining his race, putting him a full 3 seconds down on Squidge, and that's 3 seconds. It's going to be difficult to recover. When can you potentially launch a move? You would imagine it's at the end of the next DRS straight for Tess if he was to try something. As for Squidge, he has a 1.4 second lead on Mackes now. He's running P2, 2 seconds clear of Noah. Whilst this battle with Tess goes on, Mackes is only going to be extending that gap. Tess in a straight line. Is that car quick? Relatively quick. He can't really get alongside Noah. Force his way down the inside. That was never really on for Tess. Noah holding firm. But this is costing even more time. Tess's car, however, not really set up to do any overtaking. Is Luna's car set up to do any overtaking? Perhaps not on the DRS train. And Marina, fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, and that is going to yield 1 extra point. As things stand, Lucas Hull has been into the pit lane again. Onto soft tyres, and well, that's Lucas Hull's race completely gone. It's already a lap down on a majority of the field. As here goes Tess on Noah, and down the inside is nothing Noah's going to be able to do about this one. Tess with the better line, with the better straight line speed, and passed into 3rd place. 2.8 seconds now on Mackers. So, Luna and Noah find each other on track once again. It's happened quite a few times over the last couple of weeks. As Kit, 3 second time penalty already, track limit warnings. Relatively early to be picking up that kind of penalty in a 31 lap Grand Prix, especially around a circuit like this as well, which doesn't really promote track limit breaches. It's not a circuit of the Qatar nature, for say. So then, how's Matty Adam getting along? He's actually recovering this quite nice. 7 positions up on the opening 5 laps. That's averaging 1.2 per lap. And now he's on the back of former teammate Mr. Wilco. And after that, it's 3 cars in between himself and the championship leader. So Matty, at the moment, on a job to do a very, very good recovery here. Needs to get by quite a significant amount of cars though in order to be able to compete for a podium, which is realistically the only place Matt is going to be able to finish here to now. The highest place he's going to be able to finish at night. As towards the back of the field, everything is very, very spread out. It is this midfield battle we're a bit aware of between Marina, this a Lucas Hull, I believe, in AI mode. As Lucas, I don't know if you're in control of your car. You are free to unlap yourself, but you need to do it convincingly and you can't drive through people to distract them. You're a lap down, they have priority. So here we go then. Squidge 2.5 seconds out clear. Tess is starting to catch the back of Mackers. He's caught by about 7 tenths so far. Noah is sticking with, crucially enough for him, in order to be able to fight for a podium here. His fight's probably going to be with Mac, as he's also dragging Luna and Tiger along with the rest of this pack, which is Mr. Wilco, Matty and Ray. That is the problem for Tess. As long as he can't shake Noah or Noah can't shake Luna, they are dragging Matty along as well, just making his job a little bit easier, especially on a strategy call if the window was to open itself. And I'm sure we will have a safety car at some point for this race, as Luna goes into the pit lane early lap, 7 out of 31 on those medium tires. What kind of strategy is that, or is it a new front wing? No. It's new hard tires on, trying an undercut. Obviously, she knows what those hard tires are made of. She ran them during the sprint, and they worked out quite well for her in terms of pure pace. As for the gap between Marcus and Tess, is now shrunk down to 1.5. Used to be 2. That's a little bit wobbly for Tiger Octave there in over the, I believe it's the Anderson Bridge, isn't it, that part of the circuit. Might that allow Matty Adam to potentially make a little move? Octave handling last race very, very well. Driver of the day performance, up from P14, I believe, to P6, somewhere along those lines, maybe even a P5. It's a brilliant drive for Tiger Octave and a lot of points scored. Now, will he aim to keep the championship number 2 in check behind him, or does he just focus on his own race? Matty realistically is going to get ahead, but at what point? Might just be now. No DRS. Actually, Octave does get DRS. Matty just able to blast past with the power of that slipstream, and Matty up to P6 now. Only Mr. Wilco out in front in the DRS train, because then it's Tess, Noah separated by a few seconds now, along with Mr. Wilco. Mr. Wilco is now going to be benefiting of the DRS of Lucas Hull, who's being shown blue flags, and is going to have to let him go. Yeah, Lucas, you're going to have to respect blue flags here, buddy. You're interrupting the battle. You're a lap down. Please let the train behind you go. As Squidge, Makis, and Tess continue out in front then. Tess now on the back of Mackers, 7 tenths of a second. Thankfully for Makis, 1.4 down to Noah at this stage. As Lucas, I repeat, please let the train behind you go and let that battle evolve naturally. So then, here we go. First time Tess versus Mackers then. And is Tess gonna be able to get going in the first time of asking? Yes, he can. Straight up in the P2 past Mackers then. That was the type of move that Tess really needed. Couldn't afford to get stuck behind Mackers for a few laps, and he didn't. Straight past, and now he is free to chase after Squidge, who has taken off 4.4 seconds on the distance. Where is Matt in all of this? He is behind Mr. Wilco at the moment. And still we have that Racing Bulls holding up Octave, Ray and Marina behind. As for Tiger Octave, Ray and Marina, you are allowed to drive straight through Lucas Oil if you want to. You do not need to get by him in any normal sense. You can drive straight past him if the opportunity presents itself. So here we go then. Marcus and Noah. 1.3 seconds separate them. Then Matty 4 temps down on Mr. Wilco. 3 seconds then between Mr. Wilco and Noah. Noah, who's now coming into the pit lane. Just a couple of laps behind Luna. I was criticizing that call from Luna at the time. Matty's coming in as well. So it's a bit of a different strategy. Calls him. Reina has lost connection, so I'll send him an invite. Where do we have him? Reina? There we have him, Reina. Back into the lobby. Hopefully he goes. Matty, you would imagine hard tires for the entirety of this train. So let's see how effective the undercut here is, as Luna is getting past Kit. And well out in front of that pack. Ahead of Noah, ahead of Iwatts, ahead of Matty Adam. Crucially for Iwatts though, out ahead of Matty Adam. That could be a problem for the McLaren driver in a couple of laps, having the teammate of the championship leader ahead of you, who's going to be very, very defensive, you imagine. Those two know each other quite well. For reference, they've done battle many a time over the course of NEF1 history. They will keep it very, very clean, but very, very harsh. So wait and see. Iwatts and Matt will be one to look forward to within a lap or two once Matty's tyres really kick in. But hard tyres then. Holman up 10 positions at the moment, yet not having made his pit stop is worth remembering. When is Squidge going to be pulling the trigger on his pit stop then? Can't afford to wait too long, and he doesn't. You would imagine then Tess might just stay out for an extra lap. Yes, he will. Maybe hoping the Squidge just gets stuck behind a little bit of traffic. The question is, how good has Luna been on her couple of outlaps? Is she potentially going to be involved in this? It's a long pit lane around here, but I don't think it's quite that long. Just maybe on the exit. Nah, surely not. Surely not. Squidge is going to be coming out in a heap of clean air, actually. Behind Holman by a significant amount, and that might actually be a problem for Tess. Squidge now going to be able to form a further undercut on him and gain even more time. 7 seconds to the car in front, and Squidge is free to push clear until all of these cars are into the pit lane for their sets of hard tires. The strategy for this race seems relatively straightforward at the moment. Iwatts actually entered the pits along with Ray, I believe, and Wigan Bear. And that little battle I thought was going to ensue for a brief moment didn't. Iwatts not having pitted yet. Some rain a left session again. I'll provide another invite then. Hopefully we'll get it sorted. So Lucas Holden, a minute 12 down. The NEF1 debut for him. Not exactly what he was hoping for here in Singapore. A sprint race was very, very convincing, and then a Grand Prix strategy to begin with that I really do not understand what went on just then. 3.9 seconds that gap between Squidge and Marina as Tess enters the pit lane. Mags, I think, elects to stay out, maybe trying to extend this to one stopper. Can make it to about lap 14, that'll be absolutely doable. Doing about 20 laps on a set of hard tyres. Quite steep though. So wait and see. Where is Squidge going to be appearing? very, very well ahead of Tess, who'll have 1 lap newer tyres to work with, but a Alpine of Luna to deal with as well. And I think Tess is now starting to regret that it didn't come in a lap earlier. This race is working perfectly into Squidge's hands. A man who was clowned a little bit last week out simply due to the fact that safety cars have been his worst enemy this season. Is that going to change today? We'll wait and see. No safety cars as of yet, but wouldn't it be quite ironic if a safety car was to come out and screwed him once again? Right now, Squidge is heading for certain victory here in the Singapore Grand Prix, but we still have 20 laps to go, so we're not even halfway distance yet. There's a lot of racing to be done. Squidge then, only 3 cars ahead of it now, and 2 of them are black and green, as Marina's retired from this session over the Anderson Bridge. Surely that's going to be a safety car. Yellow flags, car stationary in the middle of the circuit. Everyone be very, very careful. That is Marina out of proceedings, and that is very, very unfortunate. Maybe a difficult rejoin for Marina once he was able to reassume control of his car. Surely that's a safety car, but no, I believe it's just a virtual. However, Mackers is gonna sneak into the pit lane as he does that. Say thank you very much, and this could be a problem for Squidge now. He's gonna want to push as much as he can. Does the virtual safety car stay out for a long period of time enough for Mackers to reclaim the lead of this Grand Prix? Mr. Wilco coming in as well. They're obliged to, really. Holman must take advantage as well. Squidge is really pushing now to get out ahead of Mackers. How hard can he push is the question without losing time on the Delta. He just gets out ahead. But Tess is a massive loser in this, because now Mackers is once again ahead of him. Luna still ahead of him. Mr. Wilco coming out just behind. I don't think he's going to be a threat. But that has shaken things up a little bit for sure. I'm surprised Kit didn't take advantage of that and pit for a new set of hard tires as well. He would have come out in about P11, fighting for the point still. I'm very surprised by that decision from Kit, and Lucas Hull's been given a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. That is played actually quite perfectly into Squidge's hands. I thought Mackers might just be able to squeeze out ahead, but no, it was just too great a distance. But what that has done is place another car for Tess to now overtake. Mackers is 3 seconds clear now of the Red Bull with 20 laps to go, and a Luna to overtake for Tess. A Luna who is desperately going to be trying to make up for the mistake in the sprint race. So then, Mr. Wilco taking advantage of that as well, up to P6, as Tess actually able to make his way by Luna with relative ease here. Brand new hard tyres versus 6-lap old hard tyres is going to make some difference, but Tess with that natural pace advantage as well was able to make quick work of the Alpine, and now is on his way up to Mackers and Squidge in P1 and P2. He's lost a little bit of time on this test, 1.6 seconds somewhere along those lines to Squidge by being undercut. As for Mackers, as long as he doesn't get stuck behind the Mercedes, is not going to be too much of a difference. If he gets stuck behind Mackers for a couple of laps though, could be game over for Tess's hopes at a Grand Prix win here. So who are we expecting to see into the pit lane again? A-Beat is currently sitting in P11 on 10 lap old hards. He can't make it to the end on those surely. Anyone on mediums is going to have to box again for sure, along with, you would imagine, Luna's going to have to come in again. Matty, I can't see those tyres lasting a full 21 or 22 laps. Just feels unlikely. The medium tyres went off after 7 or 9 laps. You would imagine then these tyres 14, 15 laps. Are we in for a potential 2-stop here, which could shake up the strategy a little bit? Tess is on mega pace at the moment. Purple middle sector, and has caught up to the back of Mackers by a second in a sector. So I don't think Mackers is going to be fighting this one too hard. However, this has placed him in the conversation for a podium once again. And P3 right now appearing almost likely, I want to say. Luna P4 has to pit again. Noah doesn't quite have the pace tonight to challenge for a podium so far. Mr. Wilco is in quite a good position if he can get by Noah, though on slightly fresher tyres, going to be able to make it to the end. But what is that battle going to involve with Noah and Wilco? Keep in mind you have a Matty Adam behind as well. I believe it's going to be Matty versus Mackers for the podium here at the end of this race. Tess has flown by Max. I don't think he's paid any defensive effort to that move at all. Better if your Mac is now to focus on your race and potentially make this a massive points haul. Noah and Mr. Wilco side by side with each other. We're on board with Matty Adam following this little action. Is he able to take them both here? Noah going very, very defensive. It's free wide into the next corner. Matty and Wilco makes contact. Matty's that a front wing end played off. It goes from bad to worse, but I think he's just survived there. Only down a position. Is Ray going to be claiming that spot? Yes, he is. Matty tried something round the outside of Mr. Wilco and Noah. It did not quite work out. That looks like a textbook racing incident. It was a bold move from Matty, once he maybe should have backed out of. Once he wasn't able to get quite his way away. He couldn't back out, to be fair. He was ahead into the situation. That's a difficult one for Matty. It's a difficult weekend. The move that looked to maybe set him on a course for a podium now has set him back down to earth, back to reality, and back to 8th place. I tell you, he was screwed over by that virtual safety car. Tiger Octave was running in a very, very good position. Now, just on the fringes of the points in 9th place. However, Iwatts very, very far behind Holman, battling for the final points. Battling for P11 with Beatties. Tiger Octave should be safe for points here, even as Holman blasts past him. But that P5, P6 result he was looking good for a couple of laps ago now is not an impossibility, but looking very, very hard. Mac is now 4.3 seconds down to Luna. I'll have to pit again. Another 2.6 to Noah with... I don't think Noah came off with any damage in that contact, did he? I think he came best off, was just able to drive ahead. Mr. Wilco also unscathed. Matty not unscathed though. Damage on the end plate of that McLaren, and that could see his progress grind to a halt. Hence why he and Ray are not position swapping. Ray might be McLaren's best choice now for points in this Grand Prix. Ray has been on the podium 3 out of 4 times these last couple of weeks. Mackers then got a taste of the podium in Australia, and I believe he liked it. Sorry, not in Australia, in early case of dementia, I don't quite know. But Mackers got a taste of the podium a couple of weeks ago, and I believe he liked it. Canada, I believe, is the word, if nothing else. If I'm not mistaken about that as well, I could be. Anyways, Mackers got a taste of the podium. He enjoyed it, and he might be on for yet another one here tonight. You can just keep it calm and collected, which could see him up really high in the Drivers' Championship if he's not careful. That could be interesting. Good for Mercedes as well. Unfortunate with Marina's retirement there. I would have been interested to see that incident. Just see how it went down. Wigan is on the back of a BT, 2 of the longest standing NEF1 drivers, both competing against each other since Season 1 and hasn't taken a break since. 2 NEF1 veterans going head to head. Old hard tires versus old medium tires at play. And this is going to give us an insight into what this race is going to look like. A BT on those hard tires that are 13 laps old, how long are they going to last? Lucas Hull as well, his teammate stuck in irrelevance unfortunately in P18. Wildcat got his first point last time out as well in Australia. However, he is having a tricky afternoon here and is sitting 17th on the road. As Matty has gotten past Ray actually and might be chasing after Mr. Wilco, but how's the handling of that McLaren? The question is, if you're Matty Adam now, do you wait another 2 laps potentially, then maybe up for a pit stop, medium tires, and go aggressive to the end and try and recover? Maybe try and get a jump on the cars ahead, as Recon, I believe, has had an issue in that Golf Williams. That is maybe the prettiest car on the grid. aim to say it's one of them if nothing else. That's how to do a Golf livery, McLaren. Tried a couple of seasons ago, you didn't do a good job at it. This is how to do it. But Recon struggling significantly here. Recon, I strongly suggest you knock that off. As we have a virtual safety car as a result of that. And is that going to allow a couple of people into the pit lane? A BT Wiggin, Lucas Hall allowed into the pit lane as a result of that virtual safety car. Hall's proceedings a little bit. Darren, 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's a very, very harsh penalty. I reckon it'd probably be a 5, but it is what it is. Can't do anything about it, unfortunately. As Recon into the pit lane then for a, you would imagine, change of front wing. As hello Halo in the chat as well. I haven't been paying attention to the chat too much. You're looking for a Discord link, potentially. That is, if you go scrolling towards the bottom of our page, there is a Discord link to be found as Wiggin gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. That is very, very unfortunate for Wiggin. That time it can be a little bit tricky, and that's not going to make his evening any better. Kid at the moment is on 4-lap-old medium tires in P12 though, and quite far behind the points. However, this is turning into a very, very good race for Mackers. Noah's giving chase now, to be fair, though. He is 4.7 seconds behind Mackers. Has Luna to deal with, though. We didn't quite get the data we wanted from BT, who was able to go into the pit lane for a new hard tyre. So we'll be going to the end. I'm surprised, really, that Matty, I don't know if he had the opportunity to, maybe he didn't elect to go into the pit lane then and get rid of his broken front wing. Or are these tyres going to be lasting to the end of the Grand Prix? I don't think they will. Also, Halo, if you can't find the Discord link, let me know, and I'll provide you with my Discord handle or something of the sort, so you can reach out if you do fancy joining up, I would assume, if you're looking for a Discord link. So let me know in chat if you can't find anything, and we will sort it out somehow. Just give me a message, stay tuned, and I'll be paying attention over the next couple of minutes. So here we go with a BT on new hard tyres versus Kit on worn medium tyres. Is there any front wing damage on the Ferrari? It looks quite good looking from above. As Kit started a Ferrari tenure, hasn't really been too easy. No point on board yet, but improvement is shown as Noah's been able to make it past Luna. That's because she's going into the pits after 12 laps. So that to me confirms we're looking at a two-stop strategy. It also confirms to me that right now Max is going to be very, very careful as to how he plays this. Because Luna, with a good strategy here, could place herself in conversation for a podium and an undercut. Mackers now. Does he pull the trigger on an early pit stop? Does that force Noah and Mr. Wilco to respond potentially? That's not going to aid. 3-second time penalty, multiple track limit warnings. A couple of infractions here and there, and it stacks up. Noah 5 seconds behind. He is in contention here as well, but this is now a race of strategy. Matty, when will he decide to come in the box as well? And will he change that front wing when he does? Right now, he's getting along relatively okay in terms of pace. I'm just looking at that fastest lap at the moment. It's occupied by Tess on 132 flat. As we have 11 laps to go, the distance of a sprint race then, and we saw the medium tires were able to stay that distance, so anyone pitting now probably medium tires. Luna did elect to go for a set of hard tires. Let's see what kind of pace she'll be running on them. 11.9 behind Tiger Rocktaff at the moment. Just keep your eye on the tracker to the left, and Recon 10-second time penalty speeding in the pit lane. retiring in said pit lane. As we just hope that doesn't cause any issues for anyone coming up. As there we go, went a little bit quiet. I just want to observe what happened. Squidge is in the lead of this Grand Prix by 4.5 seconds over Tess, who got a little bit of a difficult start, got stuck behind a couple of people, wasn't able to make the most of it, and that was probably the end of his chance at a charge for the Grand Prix win, unless we have something that changes up the status quo. We're still waiting for that first safety car this Grand Prix. We had a couple of virtual ones, no full call safety cars though. Mackers, he has that 3-second time penalty. He needs to start responding now because Luna is eating into that gap. Mackers, is he going to be coming into the pit lane? No. Is the question, is he able to stay out, does he reckon, to the end of this race? Or do you go very, very aggressive on a set of mediums or hards to the end? We have 9 laps remaining, folks. This is going to get interesting. This is going to get very, very interesting. Matty Adam currently running along in P6, about 2 seconds behind Mr. Wilco. And this incident between Noah, Mr. Wilco, and Matty Adam, I'm sure will be investigated after the race as well. As to Halo, a little message to you as well if you're still in the stream. Did you find that little Discord link you were looking for? And there we might have something that triggered. Not going to be able to see it, but Darren is out of this race. Terminal contact with the wall, I believe. And we have 16 cars remaining this race. So Darren out here on lap 22 out of 31. As both Noah and Darren Styler's left the session. Darren, to be fair, just DNF'd, so I don't think that's a mass kicking out. No, it's just Noah. Good. I will be sending him an invite straight back, and hopefully we can find him. There we go. It's on my list. Noah, you have a pending invite once again. Yeah, Halo, I took a screenshot of that Discord. I will give you an invite after the race. If nothing else, we are called at New Era Esports on Instagram, so just slide us a little DM in there, if you will, as well, to just make sure we establish that contact, if I can't find you on Discord in any way. So just a little Instagram DM if you're on Instagram, at New Era Esports. You'll find us quite easily on there, and we'll get everything sorted. Mr. Wilco then, with Noah's disconnect, is able to take advantage of that and move into P4, ahead of Noah then in P5. Matty going to be able to take advantage as well. We see Noah is able to get back into the session, as my English is deteriorating by the lap, potentially here, at the end of this race. Feels like a bit of a strenuous race on my English-speaking abilities, this event. But it is what it is, it is what it is. It would be fun doing commentary in Swedish, though. If that's something you'd enjoy, for all the Swedes out there, then let me know, and maybe we'll do a one-off race with Swedish commentary. Could be quite interesting. Marcus, Mr. Wilco, and Noah Van battling it out for the podium, along with Matty Adam, who is very much involved in this as well. If there is a safety car now, because Mac has gained an 8-second advantage. That's 5 seconds with penalties applied, but it's still quite heavy. Halo, I believe I've seen you start following us as well. Is it Martin by any chance? Just confirm that, and we'll have a way of communicating after the race. I'll give you a DM. Yeah, I just received that DM. I'll respond as soon as we're done with the race and everything has just calmed down a little bit. We hope to bring you into the fold. Hope you're enjoying the race and hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. Mr. Wilco, Noah and Matty Van Ray sitting in P7 can't really get anywhere this Grand Prix. Luna at the moment doing a good job on those hard tyres, but I think she's banking on everyone ahead pitting. It's a decent chance they don't. If they do, she'll be in a golden position, but right now everyone's holding station on a one-stop strategy. I did not expect that, but we're running out of laps for people to come into the pit lane. Tiger Octave as well has made it into the pit lane. No reason for him to stay out, really. It's only dropping one position to Luna. Point staying within the team, but there's a new set of tires and a problem for Noah 48. At some stage, you would imagine by the look of that understeer as well, it's a broken front wing. Yeah, completely without a front wing is Noah 48, and another difficult weekend for Aston Martin. It was a difficult time last time out. Luna approaching, no front wing on the Aston Martin. Difficult situation last week out for Aston Martin. Difficult situation now as well. Could end up without points here 2 weeks in a row. As Noah then lets Luna go, managing back. Gonna try to get it back into the pit lane. Maybe go for that fastest lap point now, with a couple of laps to go. Difficult times then for Aston Martin in mid stages of this season. Next week heading to Japan, if I'm not mistaken as well. It's not really going to get it any easier. And now we are nearing the halfway mark of this season. Round 8 of the NEF1 Championship. And these are your championship protagonists. Squidge, Tess and Matty currently sitting in P5. So it's a decent recovery drive from him. At the moment, he'll be losing 8 points to Tess's championship advantage. Could be crucial, though, is that Squidge is claiming points on Matty for P2 in the championship right now. But for Squidge, has been relatively smooth sailing so far, but Tess is just gaining a little bit on him. Enough to keep Squidge honest, but I'm sure Squidge just has a little bit of pace in hand if he needs to start using it. I must say, I'm really, really impressed as how Marcus has played this whole weekend. It's just been consistent throughout. Very, very good for the sprint, and hasn't put a foot wrong in the Grand Prix either. Well, he's put a tire over the white line one too many times. That's very, very easily done. He's not the only one to have done so. All right then, where is Noah? He is 3 seconds behind the points now in... Oh, he's on 9-lap all medium tires though. Didn't have enough of an allocation. Should have probably gone softs. And that means he'll most likely, unfortunately for Noah, be forced to pit again here. And that is the chance for race points gone, unfortunately. As for Halo, there was no pole time today. We are doing a sprint race championship. Our sprint form is a bit different to other leagues. If you want to, you can drop back on stream and hear me explain it at the beginning of the stream. Basically, we reverse the top 10 in the championship, so P10 goes and starts P1, and the order of the sprint, the finishing order of the sprint sets the grid for the Grand Prix. So no pole time today at all, just racing. Next time out though, we are going back to regular qualifying in a 50% Grand Prix. That is short qualifying, 18 minutes, 50% race, usually about 1.5 hours. In terms of event length. Started at 9 PM UK, so about an hour and a half ago. There's nothing going on circuit at the moment. Everyone's separated by 2 seconds or more, apart from Kit, to be fair, who is 1.2 seconds behind a BT. What I'm concerned about is the fact that BT might have just gone past Kit, and it's not a battle that's going to be evolving. It's going to be a battle that's dying out. We'll wait and see. Noah now 3.7 seconds behind Watson, not gaining, he's actually losing time every single lap to the Red Bull driver. A Red Bull right now who are going to be claiming a couple of points on the constructors' leaders, McLaren, who over the last couple of weeks have been absolutely impeccable. Double podiums a couple of times this season for Matty and Ray. It is not going to be so this week. With 4 laps to go, it is looking closer and closer like a certainty. Unless anything happens, the Mackers is going to be claiming a double podium here at the sprint event in Singapore 41 laps of racing action, and he has handled it brilliantly. Mr. Wilco is currently sitting in P4 with Matty in P5. 1.9 seconds separate them. Matty, with that front wing, I don't think can do too much about it. As for Luna, she is closing in as Noah's left the session. We'll give him another invite then, see what is what. As there we go, now you have another invite pending. Luna 2.2 seconds behind Holman, and those hard tires of Holman, Ray and Matty should really start falling off quite soon. Luna's tires though, starting to get up there in age as well. So the question is, how much of an advantage is she going to be gaining on them every single lap now throughout these last couple? That is a difficult question. Noah right now not in session ABT. Everyone outside the top 5 has a chance for points still. Fastest lap at the moment occupied by Tess, 1:32 flat. Points for fastest lap awarded to everyone, even not inside the top 10. As Marina is cheering on his teammate here, who is doing the Lord's work for Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. A rising star potentially in NEF1 this season. Started off a bit slow last season in his return to NEF1 after a few seasons out, but right now everything is going his way and he is controlling this third place like he has done nothing else for the last couple of weeks. Matty Adam 1.8 seconds, 1.9, it fluctuates between the two, but Luna's now on the back of Holman, who now surely struggling immensely. 15 lap old hard tires. I didn't think these were making it to the end, but they are. Squidge 3.2 seconds clear with 3 laps to go then. You would imagine that should be game over unless we have any further issues. So then, Luna versus Holman for an additional 2 championship points. P7 yields 6 points, P8 yields 4. And so Holman desperately need a point. It's been a bit of a struggle for him over the last few events. Can he defend from Luna here? Don't think there's too much sense in doing so. Much newer tires for Luna results in a relatively easy overtake for P7. P7 and 9 for Alpine. Moving towards another double points finish. Iwat at the moment running towards another points finish as well, as a beat is retired from this race without a wheel. That is just on the cusp of not triggering another safety car. Beat is out of this race. We have 5 retirees in this Grand Prix. 6 because Noah will not be resuming control of his car, I don't think, with game and internet issues. And that opens the door now potentially on the fastest lap a little bit. BT usually goes for it. Wigan with a new set of soft tires has slapped on a go at it. But wait and see now with Wigan. Can he claim that extra point for Haas? Haas right now battling with Williams for the scraps in the championship. Kit going into the pit lane as well. I'm sure very, very inspired to do something similar. And if you're an iWatt at the moment, Noah's AI is just too close behind. Then again, he's not going to be finishing this race. So do you classify him? It's a hard question. So then lap 30 out of 31, and proceedings have slowed down significantly at the end of this race. Holman has gone in to the pit lane, 21 seconds back to Tiger Octave. Could Tiger potentially just nab that place? This might be tied on exit, you know. It's a quick pit stop, soft tires for Holman. Tiger Octave, though, is approaching with only 2 laps to go. This is going to be a job now for Holman to get by. I don't think he's going to be able to, surely. Coming out too far behind. Maybe was Holman just in puncture territory there, or did he just throw away 1 point in order to maybe score 3? I don't know, but we might never know. 4.6 seconds, he might just be able to make it work if Octave makes a mistake, but such is unlikely. If nothing else, it's been a very, very well driven race from this man. We've not seen him, which usually means it's been a collected and calm race for Squidge 2017. No drama, no problems. He was the best one in the sprint, making up the most positions. He claimed P3 on the starting grid for the Grand Prix, and that came into effect. He was just able to get clear of Tess before he started to be able to push for the lead. But in the end, Tess was just a bit too far back in order to really mount the challenge. It's been a 31 lap run to the line for Squidge 2017, but when he crosses that line, once again, he will end a drought of 6 or 7 races without a Grand Prix victory. He took victory at the beginning of the season and the championship lead back in the opening race of the season in Kota. He has not won since. Podium finishes have been scarce as well due to safety car interference and just general misfortune. But now, finally, with a clean race, he's able to show just how good he is. And he is the reigning NEF1 champion for a reason. Tess has done a valiant job bringing in over 3 seconds worth of a gap. It is not easy at this level. So all kudos goes to Tess for his challenge as well. But it just was not enough tonight. Squidge 2017 will round the final 2 corners in relatively calm and collected fashion as he picks up his 2nd win of the season and resumes his title charge. It is victory for the Scuderia once more. Tess comes home to finish P2, and a very well driven race for him as well. He dealt with everything he had to deal with, and he picks up another podium in his championship campaign. Marcus has got to be driver of the evening so far. What an event! Sprint race victor and podium finisher here in Marina Bay. Absolutely brilliant from Marcus. Double podium finishes and a lot of points into his account. Mr. Wilco finishes P4 with Matty just behind him. Less than a second separate the two, with Ray finishing P6. Luna makes a mistake across the line. Did that actually cost a position potentially to Ray? I don't know. As Holman has actually been able to get past Tiger Octave then. Those soft tires came too clutch in the end. Holman will recover up to P8 with Octave finishing in 9th. And Iwatts picking up another point for Red Bull then, and solidly move themselves closer to McLaren with every single race now. Here we go then. That is the end of the Singapore Grand Prix, and what a race it was. The sprint may be a bit more entertaining than the Grand Prix, but that's to be expected of a race like this. Interesting one for sure, must be said. Massive congratulations to Marcus for by his best performance in any F1 so far for sure over the course of 2 races. Squidge did everything he needed to. Tess tried everything he could to just nip the win away, but it just wasn't enough in the end. And these two, the championship protagonists from last year, now aiming to go at it once again as we go racing in 7 days' time once more when we go racing in Japan on February the 2nd. As there we go. Fastest lap goes to Holman as well, and an extra point. So that's 5 points to Holman. Damage very much mitigated there, and very well done to get past Tiger Octave on circuit as well. I didn't think that was going to happen. It was 4 or 5 seconds down after the pit stop, but those soft tires coming clutch at the end. P17 to P8 must be considered good drive. P15 to 5 from Matty Adams should be commended as well. Even with front wing damage, he did what he needed to and lessens the blow significantly of Tess's and Squid's championship hunt. Thank you very much for watching this rendition of NEF1. Round 8 of the championship has been concluded. We are moving into the second... We are moving into the second half very, very shortly. Thank you very much for staying with us throughout the evening. It's been a bit of a longer one than usual, but we hope you have enjoyed it. Until next week, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe out there. Have a good one. Peace out. We'll see you in Japan.